We have a jam-packed show for you guys today on the Heat Report. And of course, it all starts with Damian Lillard. We also are talking, should the Heat sign Christian Wood? They are heavily linked to the big man free agent. And then Rudy Gay was waived yesterday by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Could the Heat be interested in signing the veteran forward on a vet min contract? We'll break that all down in today's video. But first, we are in the midst of a July sub battle. And the last time I updated you guys on where we stood, we were in a healthy lead. Now, not so fast. We only lead the Knicks Now channel by 7 subscribers. We still got a healthy lead on the Poverty Boston Celtics channel, 200 subs, not too bad, but we are battling with our Eastern Conference Final semifinalist foes, the New York Knicks. So hit that sub button and let's reign supreme in the Eastern Conference, outside on the hardwood and inside the Chat Sports offices. So hit that sub button. Now, what's the latest with Damian Lillard? Because there was a couple interesting quotes by Portland Trail Blazers beat reporters that cover the Blazers on the Oregonian that I wanted to share with you guys. And first, Aaron J. Fentress had this to say. I think they're close to what's a reasonable deal. The Blazers are just trying to milk this for as much as possible. And that's fine. Go ahead. But if the Blazers take this into the season, to me, that would be borderline dumb. And this quote kind of solidifies what I've been trying to tell y'all and what I've been thinking myself, right? The Heat are trying to get this deal done. They are not lowballing the Blazers so badly to where they should hang up the phone and laugh at Pat Riley and this Heat front office. They're giving something fair. They're just not going over the top because they are betting against themselves right now and don't want to just overbid when they don't have to. What the real issue with this trade negotiation is right now is Portland Trail Blazers GM Joe Cronin. He is hardballing the Miami Heat, and he's kind of being a stiff. Let's just call a spade a spade. He's not really sitting at the table with Pat Riley to try to get this deal done. We know that this will be an intricate trade, and it will require a multi-team deal, which means they're going to have to sit down on the phone or in a real room and talk with a third team. And Pat Riley's trying to gauge where Tyler Hero could be with his value and what teams could potentially want him. But he can't do that if Cronin isn't willing to at least have a conversation, and that's kind of where things stand right now. Now, I do want to transition to Tyler Hero because on that Oregonian podcast where Aaron J. Fentress dropped that quote, Brenna Green had this to say about Tyler Hero's trade value. Things obviously can change. Tyler Hero's stock in the league right now is not high. He's not someone that a bunch of teams want to trade for right now. And my first thought on this, I kind of disagree with that statement for a couple reasons. First of all, I'm going to believe Shams and other national reporters more than Brenna Green. I'm sorry, I just am. And what they have constantly told us is that there are teams interested in sending a first-round pick. We also have Brooklyn Nets beat reporters saying that they are very open to the idea of trading one first-rounder to get Tyler Hero in a 3-team deal. And these are the 3 suitors that have been linked to Tyler Hero thus far: the Nets, the Spurs, and the Jazz. The Nets and Spurs make the most sense to me. Obviously, you add Tyler Hero into that backcourt for Brooklyn, pair him up with Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton, and you got a solid young core that can maybe make some noise in the play-in in the Eastern Conference. The Spurs, they're going to need more scoring. You get him, Keldon Johnson, and Victor Wembanyama. That's a solid little trio to build for in the Western Conference. The Jazz, they don't make too much sense to me, but they have been linked to them. And maybe they could all send a first-round pick for Hero. I think that's his value. I don't think teams are scared away, from Hero. I think they'd be willing to take him in for a first-round pick. But I'll ask you this, and this is the age-old question. It's our pinned comment on today's show. When will Dame be traded? If you think it's going to be today, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, type your 1s. If it's next week, type 2. If it's going to be longer than that, type 3. I originally thought it could be 1 or 2. I'm now 3. This might drag out for a long time. Next on the show, are the Heat going to be interested in Christian Wood, the big man from Dallas? Could he be someone to fill out a vet min roster spot for your Miami Heat? Dan Wojcicki, who covers the Lakers, had this to say about Christian Wood's free agency market. According to sources, the Chicago Bulls are suddenly viewed as a potential threat that could keep the Lakers from landing Christian Wood. Sources also believe the Miami Heat could be a suitor for Wood, particularly if they're able to pull off a Dame Lillard trade. And this has become abundantly clear for me, but a lot of these vet min guys, experienced veterans among the league, that could easily sign a vet min contract for a team right now, they're in a holding pattern. Why? They're waiting out the Damian Lillard saga. And it makes all the sense in the world, right? Like if you are a veteran who wants to win a championship in the late stages of your career, or maybe just revitalize your career, it makes a lot of sense that you'd want to come to Miami. Play with Dame, play with Jimmy, play with Bam, because you're going to get open looks. You're going to get opportunities in the postseason, in big moments that you wouldn't get with other teams. In a person of Christian Wood's stature, who has been a bucket getter over the past 4 seasons, averaging 13, 21, 18, and 16 while shooting efficiently, but he doesn't have a market. You might ask yourself why he doesn't have a market right now. Why is he not getting more than a vet min look when you're averaging 21 a game? Well, the reason is people are concerned about his winning attitude. Is he a me guy, not a we guy, right? And he hasn't really brought the best baggage with him where he goes. He's had struggles in the locker room, fits, and he's not a good defender as well. So teams question if someone of Wood's stature can play in a winning locker room. Now, if he does sign with Miami, I think he could be a perfect sixth man. If you're trading Tyler Hero, I know he started this past year, but you do need some scoring guy off the bench. Wood, as you just saw with those numbers on screen, can definitely add a scoring punch for this Miami Heat second unit. When Dame, Jimmy, or Bam sits down, you can have him be that second or third option as on the offensive end. Now, the defense, like I said, is a major question, but if he fits alongside Bam Adebayo because Wood can stretch the floor, I think you can hide Christian Wood on defense with Bam's defensive prowess. Now, let me know. Should the Heat sign Christian Wood? I laid it out for you, the positives, the minuses, but I want you guys to decide right now for me. Type S for sign, type P for pass. Let me know in the comment section. Next on today's show, should the Heat sign Rudy Gay after he was waived by the Oklahoma City Thunder last night? Interesting prospect here, older guy, veteran, but Shams Charania was originally on it. He tweeted out, the Oklahoma City Thunder have waived Rudy Gay, sources tell him. Now, he's a veteran who has declined over the past 4 seasons. There's no doubt about that. But I think he could actually make a real difference on this Miami Heat roster. Maybe this is a little bit optimistic of me. Maybe it isn't. But when you look at what he's done over the past 4 years, he had 2 decent seasons with the Spurs in 2019 and 2020. But the last couple years with the Utah Jazz has been nothing short of ugly. 5 points this past season on 37.8% from the field and 25% from 3. He's also shooting 24% on catch and shoot 3-pointers that past season, and that is not very good, to say the least. I don't want to point out the obvious for you guys, but it's not too great for Mr. Gay. But I do think he makes a lot of sense for Miami when it comes to the vet min. You trade a lot of people from your roster to get Damian Lillard, you're going to have to fill out a bunch of those roster spots with either vet min guys, two-way guys, or someone on a two-way deal that you elevate now to a standard contract. But if you want someone with a lot of experience, right? Like he's been in the postseason. He's been a number 1 option before. So if he's able to improve those catch and shoot 3-point numbers and be efficient from beyond the arc, he can be someone that complements Jimmy Butler, Dame, and Bam really, really well. And we know, like I just mentioned, that they are going to have to build out a roster. And say they trade 4 or 5 players in this Damian Lillard deal, that's a lot of roster space. Rudy Gay could be someone who fills it. I just mentioned Christian Wood as well. He can be a good fit on this Heat roster to try to win a title, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they kept it in-house, right? They go with a Jamari Bouye, they go with a Jamal Cain, and they stick with the guys like Orlando Robinson to make meaningful contributions on this Heat roster this upcoming season. There's just a bunch of options that Pat Riley and the front office will have. Trading for Damian Lillard, they can go a multitude of routes to fill out this roster. That will do it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in and staying throughout the video. If you are here right now watching this far in the video, you obviously like what we're doing. So make sure you hit that sub button, youtube.com/@theheatreport. Lock us in because we're your one-stop shop for everything Miami Heat news and rumors.